on. All right. I pressed a button, which means we're going live. Oh, we're live. Hi. Hi, everyone. Keith.
Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Thank you for backing our Kickstarter. It's always nerve-wracking. It shows people give a fuck, and it's very exciting when it works out. It means the world to us. All backers, you'll be getting your exclusive ticket to this Sunday's final silent trailers by tomorrow night. If you don't get it, contact us before Sunday. We'll make sure that you have all the stuff you need. Of course, info@keithandthegirl.com is our email address. To everyone listening, these backers ensure that there'll be another year of Keith and the Girl. So mark your calendars as well. Chemda will be putting together the 24-hour comedy marathon that starts February 3rd.
Why am I doing that? Just kidding.
Because you can't quit. We'll be live on YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell. All right, let's get right into it. You've seen her on the Late Late Show. She hosted NPR's Ask Me Another. Now has her very own podcast that I'm a big fan of. Parenting is a Joke. Ophira Eisenberg. Hello, Ophira.
Hello. Hi. Nice to see you again. And the best bangs in town. Can I mention that?
Best bang in town. Bangs.
best bang in town. That was the best.
More bang for your buck. How else did we introduce you?
Right. A banger, real banger. I every time I see something about bangs online, it's always talking about how they're an emotional response to a situation. You know, that's a thing, and it pisses me off because my bangs are not This is unresolved trauma, I think.
So it comes from somewhere.
Yeah, it comes from somewhere. Yeah, if you ever see me with a full forehead, you'll know that I've moved on. I figured it out.
You've cut some stuff out of your life.
I'm big fan of your podcast. It's fun every time it starts. How you put yourself down in a very fun way. Hi, everybody. I'm a seltzer that's gone flat. I'm a slice of bread that you forgot in the toaster. This kind of thing. And she's off. Fantastic. How old is your son now?
He's 8, just turned 8 a little while ago, very recently.
8.
Is he still feeling son-ish?
Oh, like a little kid.
Yeah. Is he still feeling like a boy? Are there gender things?
He's still very strongly identifying boy.
Okay.
Do you check every day?
How are we? But
gender check.
He does have a lot of questions. I mean, he has a lot of things to say about binary gender, honestly.
Oh,
yeah. Because he'll just be like, the girls do this and the boys do this and da-da-da. And because he's not a sportsy boy, and he feels very strongly about that too. And he somewhat prefers the company of the girls in his class.
Okay.
Yeah. So
my nephew just turned 4, and he just discovered he has mostly boys around. He has a boy brother. He's got boy nephews. Nobody made a vagina yet, right? But
right.
And so he's, now that COVID's over and they're integrating even more, he's figuring out there's something else here, and there's something about girls that he likes, and he calls it a sister now, because he doesn't know how to be like, oh, I want a friend of this. He's like, I want a sister. So now I'm his sister, because he recognized that I'm female and we were born on the same day. So I call him my twin, but that's how he's associating with females. He's like, let me make them a sister, because that's some sort of, that gets an unlimited amount of play dates.
Yes. Right. It's interesting. And, these little boys, if they are even my son, who is certainly, he is no shrinking flower. He is, a bundle of energy, and he is the kid that will just jump off the top of the play set to see what happens, kind of thing.
Right.
He's not like cautious. Oh yeah. And so they are like animals with each other. Like, and they talk to you all of a sudden, like with this kind of, they have so much social emotional learning in school now that they talk to you with this very high level of, I don't know, emotions and talking about the world that I'm like, I don't even know if I understand myself this way. And then the next minute, they're literally pushing each other's face into a metal grate.
They're still human
animals.
In all fairness, that's how I was also. I had 2 brothers, and it's not like it's because I was the girl, but I cracked one's head open. We were throwing each other off of things that we can throw each other off of. We went to the hospital because of each other, and I love the shit out of my brothers. And then we would play G.I. Joe and whatever, Lego, I don't know. And then just one thing would be like, for real? And you'd see like you said, like red animals. I cracked his head open. He stabbed me with a pencil. Stabbed me with a pencil.
And that's
left
back
the lead
when
in.
they were lead. Everybody,
right?
Wasn't
He left the lead in.
He left a lead in.
Yeah. By then, we were such experts at fighting that I was like, really? And my mom's like, what? And he's like, I don't know. That was it.
I don't know. It's just that's what we do.
I don't.
We got
okay,
to.
and that was our last fight though, because we were like, okay, this is getting ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, I was at
we got to outgrow this.
I was at somebody's place for Thanksgiving, and 2 separate couples each had a 2-year-old kid, and they're running around, they're having fun, and then somebody bumps somebody the wrong way, and it's fisticuffs all of a sudden. But then they separated them, and then said, and usually, the parent, you tell me if you dealt with this, it's like, all right, say you're sorry. But they never say sorry. They shrug, and then you go, okay, that's better. And it's really just you saying sorry to the other parent. Yeah. I saw it work. I saw the kid go sorry, and the other kid went, it's okay. And I'm like, I've never seen this actually work before. And then they're lovers again. Yeah.
And next level. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we've shamed our child so badly. We're undoing that work. And, all of the stuff. And then, I live my life and I talk about them on the podcast. And then people say things to me like, that's really standard. Like, oh, well, you got to save up for his therapy. Start saving up for his therapy in the future. He's going to need. And I'm like, it's 2023. He's in therapy now. Okay.
Right. It's a new world.
I'm already paying for it.
I love that when people have nothing to say, they say the most cliche, like old school. I think that's the same when people are pregnant. Oh, do you know what you're having? An alien. Do you really want to know if it's a penis or a vagina? Because I'm curious why.
Yeah, you just don't. You have like 3 questions to ask, and then you're out, which is like, how are you feeling? How long are you along? And what is it? Yeah.
Right. But isn't it nice? Like you're giving your kid material to be a writer, to be an author like yourself. You're giving your kid every opportunity to succeed and do stand up himself. And
there will be no stand up.
Don't you say that, Keith.
He will be sitting his whole life. I will give him no stories to tell the moth.
Be no stories. Oh my God. Let me tell you, I love Gen Z. I suppose that makes me sound old, but that's what it is. I love Gen Z, but the way that they have really
By the way, when you
altered...
started with I love Gen Z, I'm like, Gen Z, prep yourselves if you don't know yet. When this generation says I just love so.
Yeah, this is where the insult comes. It's the same way anyone who's ever asked a question in a seminar is always like, I really appreciated when you spoke about this. Here's my question. Explain why you were wrong. But no, I think I worked all of my jobs when I was in my 20s like a dog for no money and thought that was the right thing to do. And it was brutal and pointless. Honestly, they have affected the workforce in kind of an amazing way. And then I do think actually they have made people like look at what they're paying people and look at how they are treating like people coming in, and you could have a whole discussion about that. But then there's the other side of it, which is just like the memes and the chatter on like Instagram and TikTok with the fun names, right? Because there's no meeting Friday. And then because you have Sunday scaries working up to your idea of how Monday is going to be, you have minimalist Mondays, so you don't have to deal with the Sunday scaries. And then I guess after that, there's like, why even bother Tuesdays and like fuck it Wednesdays and how am I supposed to work now Thursdays? Back to no meeting Fridays. Right. And I kind of love it. And I'm also like, the machines are going to take over so swiftly, so swiftly. It's going to be like, no problem.
I enjoyed hearing on your podcast, your son's doing your mama jokes now, but not necessarily. but not necessarily the joke. Just yelling, "Ya mama."
Yeah. So we talked about it all this morning because he was like, "Yo, mama," and I just go, "You mean yo, mama?" He goes, "You're saying it wrong. It's not." And he's got a whole thing. He's like, this is how it goes. You say Lucas, and I go, Lucas, and he goes, yeah. And then you go, what's going on? And I go, what's going on? He goes, nothing. And then you say, guess what? And then you say, yo, mama, like he wants a few steps, but he still doesn't know the rest of it. He doesn't know how a yo mama, right? It's like your yo mama. It's like, what is it like? Is so hairy, she has to comb her knuckles or whatever.
Right.
Like that's one of the trite ones or whatever. So he doesn't know the jokes. He just knows to yell.
The problem is he's going into crowd work when he's still an open micer. Chill out, man. Hand out the flyers. We all had to do our shit.
Yeah, these comic clips are fucking people up online. I'm telling you. Ophira just looks at her son and goes, "Oh, you mean your dead grandma?" And then that puts an end to it usually. I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you mean my mom who's dead? Anything else?
What'd you do for Thanksgiving? It sounded like you did have family time for like a week, right?
I did. Well, nothing. We had no one.
Good for you.
My husband got that new virus, which isn't COVID, but displays as COVID, but doesn't test as COVID. You just get really sick for a bunch of time and you cough. I believe in my neighborhood, it's now literally called the 30-day cough.
No.
That's
a long cough.
I thought you were like kind of setting us up. Like he got something not COVID. I think it's called the flu. I thought like we were just going back to regular being sick. I didn't know.
Flu. Maybe it was the flu. I don't know. No one knows what these things are anymore, so they just give them fun names.
Great.
So we felt like we were like, maybe we will see some friends. Maybe we will go to a restaurant. Maybe we will invite some people over. And then it was like, no. And so we just had steak and chilled out. And you know what? I kind of loved it.
Yeah.
I kind of loved it.
I remember being in New York, and I always thought you go home for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but I was new to New York. I was broke. I picked up like a Hungry Man turkey dinner because you still had to follow the rules a little bit, and a 40. And I'm like, and then once that day was over, I'm like, oh, I don't have to do that.
Yeah,
I don't have to. I didn't know you could not.
Right, you could just like not.
It's like when I was older and I heard about all these kids that fought their dad, and I'm like, I didn't even know you could do this shit. That's great. How do you keep that from me?
Yeah, I remember the day I realized like I at any point could get up and leave the city I lived in. Like I was just like, oh, you can just ghost the city that you don't like anymore.
Right. Right. Sometimes I even think now like things are structured enough where if I just went outside, hailed a cab and went, I'm going to 62nd Street for no reason. I wonder if they'd be like, oh God, we got to check the fucking algorithm. This is not what you normally do. So yeah, coming to New York with a little bit of money, I was waiting for them to go, no, you turn around. This is not normal. Yeah, it's crazy. You can just do stuff. It's weird.
Just do whatever you want within reason. I mean, within money.
Speaking of holidays, do you, first of all, happy Hanukkah? Or you say, I hope you keep a good Hanukkah, right?
I hope, like Jews, right? There's no happiness. How dare you talk to me about happiness?
May you have an easy
right now.
Have an easy,
especially
Hanukkah.
Right now.
Yeah, especially. Well, now more than ever, you got to light the candles. Do you do the whole thing with your family?
Yeah, we're gonna do the candles. Unfortunately, like I didn't grow up with the present on every day of Hanukkah thing. That's totally a made up thing, by the way.
That is
right?
So made up, not by Jews. No Jew was telling that to any other Jew. That is totally made up. I think I've said this before. Hanukkah is not a big holiday. It's not our Christmas and Easter.
It's like the Flag Day of holidays.
Ish, right? Ish. It's like
Arbor Day. I don't know. Yeah.
We don't know the others other than
Christmas and Easter.
It's not that big a deal because you guys can't agree how to spell it. The marketing is horrendous on this fucking holiday,
and the date changes all over the place. Can't keep a date.
Right, we can't keep up. So I remember.
Why would you have so many K's in that word? By the way, guys, just saying.
Can you guys get a
C?
When you guys get a H in your alphabet, this will all be just fine with a lot of,
Thank you.
so many. I mean, the Dutch have that sound. You know about Dutch.
Yes. Oh, yes.
That's
This is the only reason my parents fell in love, I think, is because they thought they were speaking the same language, but one was speaking Dutch and the other one was speaking Hebrew.
yeah, they're just flying all over the place at each other as Jews. You know how Jews do. Anyway, this Hanukkah became a big deal as Christmas grew in maxing out your credit cards, in having to, visit Santa with long lines, in,
Oh my God.
like just as Christmas grew into now it's on your cups, now it's on your tape, like all of that stuff. I feel like the little kids were like, well, I keep going to school, in New York anyway, I keep going to school. And when I come back from winter break, all of the guys are with their new Xbox, whatever.
Everything.
And it wasn't regular. It was like they just came back from skiing and they got the new system, whatever that is, for $400. They got like stocking stuffers that were what we considered birthday gifts, dare to ask.
The stockings were like the whole gift. Like that was, I was like, there's more after that?
Right. So then
just the stocking.
Yeah. So, I mean, before that, we were getting gelt, Hanukkah gelt, which is chocolate coins, which now Trader Joe's has this giant one. Every time I fucking see it, I'm like, I got to get that and hand it out. And I'm like, what it's fucking chocolate in a circle. Stop being a weirdo. So I've avoided that.
The right Hanukkah gelt is not good chocolate. If you get the real stuff, it's like super sugary, definitely not a dairy product close to in there anywhere, right?
It's sugar with like brown dye or something. I don't know. This is not the way sugar, it's no Toblerone, okay?
No.
It might even be Parv. I don't know.
Might be.
I don't know. It might be Parv. Keith, you know what Parv is?
It's like not good, right? It's like this is like not too good. Yeah, I think I get it.
It's almost vegan, but it has eggs, no dairy, no meat, so that you can mix it in with other shit.
Right. It's like it's not fluffy and shit.
We were getting chocolate coins and dreidels and just gambling and being like, yay! And then the Jew donuts. The Jew donuts.
Oh yeah, the jelly dough. What? Oh my God, why am I spacing on the nose?
Sufganiyot.
Sufgonia, thank you. My mother never made those, but yeah, I would go to the people's places and they would inject.
whoever the injections, you love them.
They would inject jelly into them.
Yeah.
Like if you make it right.
When the person who invented the chocolates that look like money and gambling on Hanukkah, where people like,
okay, we see what it sounds like. We see what it's like as you're saying
that's your happy place for the holiday.
This is so bad.
And when you say the people invented, I guess you mean Moses. Okay. Right. So let's just get this historically accurate.
Honestly, how did we get to rolling a die basically and giving each other chocolate coins? And it's the worst. It's four-sided, basically, the dreidel. It's basically a four-sided die that you can spin, right? A spinner. So if it lands on one of them, you get all the coins. If it lands on none of them, you get on the end, you get none. If you land on the other one, you get half. But like by the time two people spin, somebody has all of them and the game is over. It doesn't make sense at all. It's not like
it goes fast.
Yeah. You just one round and you're just like, well, Chaim has it all. So I think we eat donuts. It's Chaim. Fucking Chaim.
So you don't think they should use like a giant dreidel to solve the Middle East problem?
Well, it always lands on none is the problem. Each side is just like none for you, none for you. And they're like, I got all, none. No one ever lands on half, ever. It's loaded.
In your podcast, you mentioned going to a PTA meeting and the teacher said to you, I hear that you travel a lot.
Oh, my God.
That's got to be so sexist, right?
I thought it was, she mentioned it three times during parent teacher interviews. She said like, but I know you travel a lot. Okay. And your son, blah, blah, blah. But I know you travel a lot. I was like, oh my God. Also, it's sort of framed from a point of view of like, do you think look at me? Do you think I'm cocktailing around the country? Like, what do you think I'm doing? What do you think? I'm also not a high level exec, so you should feel sad. You should just feel sad for me and maybe not mention it. Like, clearly I'm like a borderline sad traveling salesman that is trying to make the last bit of cash I can before I hang it up. So don't mention it. Maybe just cry through this whole thing and say how sorry you are and how we hope that my son will make money to like keep us afloat.
You see
forward.
what field trips I'm okaying and not okaying? Figure it out.
You know what I wanted to say to her? I just found out you're the teacher. You know what? Take me off the emergency contact list because I travel a lot. So why bother calling me? Seriously, call one of the other parents.
I'm the one here, by the way. Where's my husband? I'm here.
Yeah, you know what he's doing? Cocktailing. Okay, he's cocktailing.
What do you think
I know.
cocktailing is? What is cocktail?
I know. I just figure like there's this idea that people are just like hanging out. Even people, you do comedy, even as a woman. I did a show last night. I got there a little too early. And they told me to go inside the showroom if I wanted like an empanada because there was empanadas for everybody. And I was like, yeah, I'll have an empanada. And I went in and this woman beelines to me because it was a fundraiser. And she goes, oh, are you the organizer? And I'm so sick of this that any woman is like, there's no possibility she's the comic. No possibility. And I just turned to her and said, I know as a woman, it would be hard for you to think that I'm a comic on the show, but I'm a comic on the show.
Ooh.
Because I was just like, we're done with this. I'm
What
done.
What was the response?
Oh,
She
just
killed
like
herself.
a nervous, yeah, hopefully. Nervous giggle. That's the best you get. As I
Right.
just like stuff the empanada in my face. Free food. What organizer eats free food? That's a comic move.
What is
I'm
what
a
is
piece
your
of shit. Recognize. Come on. Look at me. Do I look like I put anything together today?
But because I travel a lot, I was on this 6-week tour in Canada. That's what she was referencing because I was not here basically for September, half of September and all of October. And when I did that tour and people would hear my act, and obviously I'm talking about being a mom, and they would come and say things to me afterwards, just idle talk, same kind of bullshit we're saying, like dumb things people say to pregnant women. I don't even think we're at the point of pregnant people, are we?
We're trying to be. So good on
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Pregnant people.
Yeah.
But I would get a lot of who's taking care of your kid? Well, this is such a long time. Who's taking care of your kid? I was like,
Holy shit.
the father, and more like 2023. I mean, I'm just saying it. I'm in major cities, and people are saying to me, not once, not twice, 4 times. It is so not. It's so lucky of you that you have a husband that will let you do this.
Fuck, man. Shit. Holy shit.
Do you
But
find
you know,
him getting too much credit? Like, maybe he's just walking with the kid to the park and it's like, oh, look at that. It's like, God damn it, I'm the one that carries him all the time.
I mean,
100%.
he's getting credit for letting her do things,
Sure.
for letting her do things, let alone taking care of the other one.
My clearly free career, right? I'm just dance. That's what I mean, cocktailing. I'm just like going on stages, trying a few jokes.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
Does he have a
He
job
lets
that's
me out
gonna,
of my cage on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
does he have a job that there's going to be office parties for Christmas?
No, actually, that's not true. He's a freelancer, but he is going to a couple of them because, I guess they don't. I guess they let the freelancers come. Aw, they let the freelancers come and pour a little slosh in a plastic cup and have a cracker for the holidays and not get a bonus. Aren't they nice?
Yeah.
I read the other day 20% of office workers
Yeah.
cheat at Christmas parties.
Okay, so this is when they just find someone in whatever Earl from accounting. and
Right.
this
It's
is
the only
moment.
time they let loose and they get nuts in the Xerox closet.
They're
Okay,
cocktailing.
Wait, Keith, it's a little outdated, right? First of all, is there an office? Like, I'm surprised there's still an office for anyone to go to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an office?
Is there a Xerox machine? What are you making copies of your butt with? You're just taking pictures of it now.
Yeah,
So now there's
and you
so now
already
there's room to
have.
fuck.
They're in your phone. They're on your profile.
Right.
But do you love that Keith set you up like, hey, your husband going to any
Yeah,
office
right.
parties?
Yeah, this is
Neither here nor there. I was reading the.
I wouldn't have brought
This-
it up if not, but it turns out yes. So is this of any concern?
This might be cliche to say, but if he comes home with a couple free new moves,
I
maybe that'd
wish
be great.
from your lips, Keith.
Let's
You're like-
judge things up.
I don't know where you learned that, but oh well.
Thank you, Betty in accounting.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for you. Have a good
This
holiday
feels
yourself.
like someone from branding was involved.
I remember being with my mom and just being stupid. I guess it could have been worse, but I was just being dumb. And I go, "Do you think that's cheating on you?" And she burst out laughing. Like, yeah, right.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how this even happened.
I know there is kind of a funny thing that happens in a long-term relationship where you're like, you know what, take your best shot. Let me know how it goes.
His favorite sandwich is ham and cheese. Good luck.
I'm going to give you the top 3 stories you're going to hear later.
Why don't you date me real quick? I got it all down. This reminds me, oh my God, I'm gonna go even further back in time to the Honeymooners. And one time, the wife, she was pretending to be hypnotized by the husband who's like doing another fucking scam. This was, by the way, regular.
Oh,
Gen Z. You're allowed to hypnotize your wife in order to get information from her. Nobody knows. There's other people involved in the room. Cool. So she knows about it because she finds out his scheme, and she sits there pretending to be hypnotized and saying whatever information. And he's like, wait, before we get her out of it, ask her how she feels about me because, might as well know. So she goes, and I heard this once. It has played in my head years. I don't want him. You could have him. He's too fat for me. He's too fat for me. She just launches into it. And I was like, the fuck? And then they just continue to be married, everybody. Like there was no let's talk about this and revealing to each other. It was just, I know how you feel about me now.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Well, that was love. You accept the other person, you threaten to
Bang,
punch
zoom.
them to the moon every day.
That's so great. I mean,
Oh,
you know
God.
what? It's so interesting because that was, can you imagine like a show that long ago just being so blatant about that? I feel like now, like that exact thing now would be a statement, like a political statement, like it would be a statement on feminism and marriage, and I don't know. And that was just back, I don't know. Now I'm making the past idyllic, which I know is so wrong, but it is sort of like, oh yeah, remember when it was just like there's a joke.
Right.
Just a
Remember when
joke.
Archie was just racist, guys? Come on.
Yeah, I mean that I do find whatever. He just died, the great Norman Lear.
At 101 years old, the guy who put together, right? All in the Family, it was his baby.
Yep.
All those
Yep.
TV shows, yeah.
Yeah.
All
and
those
then
TV
the
shows.
Jeffersons.
Brought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
they're-
All in the Family was fantastic. He was racist in a way to showcase how this white guy from Queens on his couch is racist. That is how white and black people talk to each other in Queens as a racist and a black person trying to just live his life. If that person moved next to you, you would feel free to use all of those words in front of them back then. That's not my day. That's a little bit before, but and they showed like with the hippie son-in-law, they showed how you can go too far left. They made him look stupid also. And then they showed like the women usually kind of balanced all of the things and said, you're an idiot. And that's how the show ended. It wasn't just glorifying, just saying bad words.
I don't know.
It was a one-to-one relationship with a character. And I feel like that is something that we look at now and go like, yeah, but what are the implications of people watching this and being like, yeah, but I'm going to be like Archie Bunker, like, because the idea is you're too, I'll just say you're too dumb to understand context.
Right, but that's the problem. I'm seeing a lot of people on social media. Archie Bunker had it right when he said, like, nah.
I know, yeah. Well,
But then how can you make Holocaust movies? But then how could you make any period pieces? How could you do
Can't.
any of it? That's great. It's,
Remember these Holocaust movies where you're rooting for Hitler, kind of? Just saying. You still wanted it to work out for Archie a little bit.
I'm also not saying that we write another All in the Family. I am saying that was a well-written, very well done show, specifically at that time. Yes, it was top fucking notch. Don't take 2023 into account because they weren't able to. Take that into account, and it was very forward.
I'm sorry, I was too wise. Yeah,
you were so far ahead of your time, especially because you were born after they started.
I don't have a time machine. We'll never know.
Looking through those fancy glasses of now, okay? Got to stop doing that.
By the way, speaking of fancy and moms, tomorrow is my mom's death anniversary. And so
we're gonna...
Sorry. Well, it's a little too late. A year ago would have been nicer, but thank you.
Black Lives Matter.
We all can't get together as siblings, so we're gonna play VR golf together.
Oh, that's nice.
It's very nice. She was never into VR or golf, so that'll be a sweet thing that we.
Yeah, but what was she into? Your dad? What are you gonna do? Right. What was she into? What are you gonna do? Go to church? Okay.
Somebody's gonna forget to plug in their machine and cry. It'll be a good time though, I think. But yeah.
We don't celebrate my mother's or acknowledge my mother's death anniversary.
Well, do you light a candle or anything?
It's been 1 year. We're not bored with it yet,
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even do it at 1 year.
Okay.
My family's, I hope you're listening, family, fucked.
Right. Oh, mine's no joy. Also, you don't have VR.
This is true. That's what's separating us.
We didn't say let's do a Zoom call and talk about feelings. Let's play a game and then we can say something when we want. We might as well be watching football together. This is for mom.
I mean, at least you found a shared activity. I couldn't even find that.
Oh, that is nice though. Like to acknowledge that this is how we get together. Who cares how we?
Who cares?
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
You're not. Yeah, right.
Good
I
for
like
you.
that you said light a candle. That right now I have some I literally candles give me anxiety because I feel like we got to burn them down till they're done, so they will be completed and they'll be done. And then I guess we buy a new candle and start the process again. Every time we see like a half burned candle and thing, I'm like, we must continue to burn it. But anytime I light a candle, a nice aromatic candle to create atmosphere, I am so worried that I'm not going to blow it out and forget.
Mm-hmm.
That my process now is that I write on a Post-it note, candle. And I put that Post-it note on my pillow of my bed. So relaxing, candles. So relaxing.
Holy shit, that's the opposite of a pillow mint. We just found it, everybody. With Ophira.
High anxiety scrawl of the word candle.
Hanukkah landed, today. It's also Pearl Harbor Day.
No, really?
Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry, but I get riled up thinking about it. It makes me fucking. You ask me about any time period about Nazis, and I'll cut you off and go, nope, hate them.
Pearl Harbor.
And Pearl Harbor gets me riled up.
So yeah, this was something that was never acknowledged for me growing up as a Canadian. I mean, we knew that Pearl Harbor happened, but it was very American.
Did you see that movie Oppenheimer, where this idiot didn't realize that he was building a bomb the whole time? He builds his bomb. He obviously knows he's making the atomic bomb. And then he goes, okay, they go, okay, thanks for the bomb you made. And he's like, what did I do? What do you think you fucking did? You built a bomb. You knew where it was going. Oh my God, the implications of what? A giant bomb? Fucking moron. 1 hour, we got to watch him. What did I do?
Yeah, you thought you were a high-level gardener? What did you think you were doing? No, I didn't. I saw Barbie. I had to make a choice. My husband went and saw Oppenheimer. I saw Barbie. And I thought...
How did you take Barbie?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly how I took it. I was like, good job, everybody. We made a movie about Ken. Good job.
That's funny.
But that's what it is. Yeah. It is like, He's got the story arc. He does a great job. I'm not going to say that everyone does a great job, but it's all about his story. It's his story.
Yeah.
Right.
He's the one with the sequel. Barbie has no sequel.
Ooh. Oh my God.
True. Yeah,
I knew we
journey.
talked about Barbie for like a month, and I knew somehow I needed to hear what you thought also. and I hadn't heard that yet. Oh my Ophira is here, everybody.
I mean, the second the lights went up, I just turned to the person I was with and I was like, I cannot believe we fucked this up. And she was like, because of the feminism. And I went, no, it's about Ken.
Of course it's enough. It's the whole thing.
It's the whole thing.
Did you wear pink to the theater? I can't even imagine.
I did.
How? What?
I had a pink dress and I was like, you know what? So what happened too was it was on the heels. I revisited this piece that I have because I
don't mean to shame you.
No, I'm just going to go through this very quickly and I'll make it as interesting as possible. So, I survived this terrible car accident when I was a kid. And when I was sick in the hospital and they thought I had a 50-50 chance of living, my dad asked me if he could buy me something. So when I got home.
And I know what you wanted. And
I wanted a Barbie dream house. Yes. And I got it. And I played with it forever. And then when my mom died, I had to go to her house. This was now 4 years ago and go through all the stuff. And I found the Barbie dream house, in pieces. And I didn't know what to do with it. And it is from the 85, 86. So it's not like technically worth anything. But I didn't want to throw it away. And I felt like very conflicted about it. And it was miscategorized because I had to leave and go back to New York. And it ended up in the estate sale for the house. And it's not like there was an estate to sell. It's like, in case you don't know, estate sale sounds fancy. It's just a fancy garage sale when you don't want to deal with a dead person's shit. Okay. Right. You hire someone to garage sell your stuff. And so it ended up in the estate sale. And I was like, no, you can't sell it. And I went through this whole rigmarole to get it out. And it's currently sitting at a storeroom in Calgary. Perhaps it's not. Like I literally put it in some place to store it that I don't pay for. So it might be ruined. But so when the Barbie movie came out, I felt this hole in my chest about like, you were going to take something that is so insanely symbolic in my life and fuck with it.
Wow.
So I will go out and I will see it, but I am not happy about this. And then to counteract it at the last second, I was like, you can't walk into that movie theater as a black cloud, put on some pink and have a cocktail before and pretend that you're part of like this celebration of women in cinema.
Did you feel like people were looking at you like they can tell? They can tell I'm not really pleased.
No, I felt like my entire theater was full of people just cheering.
Right.
Oh, my theater was full of women sobbing.
Yeah, I mean, there was some sobbing points, but were they sobbing because they were like, we've only gotten as far as feminism 101?
I mean, I was like, I was crying because I was like, yep, cool.
Yeah, right?
This is real. And I guess it's a comedy, but like, I'm so sick of telling these jokes, man. Wish this wasn't funny.
I was afraid when I was leaving, people were like looking at me that I was too stone faced. I'm like, sorry, I already knew. That's all. I already knew this stuff. Just saying. I think it's for children.
But then and then I just had the thought about like, oh, this isn't for me. And then I also had the thought of like, man, it wouldn't be great if this could be, a semi-okay movie in a canon of 1,000 movies that, but it has to stick out and it has to be this fraught with lessons and comedy. Like, it is a tall order. And I felt like there was 9 movies crammed into one movie. They're just trying to do so many things.
Yeah, but I feel like at the end of the day, it was a Mattel Barbie commercial.
And then it's just a Mattel Barbie commercial.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much all it was. And the surveys were filled out before saying like, what would make you think better of Barbie or think of her more as a feminist, and think of Mattel more like a
Feminist
company that you could stand behind. And I think people were like, well, tell the truth about what women have to go through and how this is symbolic and why you made this choice and that choice. And they made a movie that was a commercial because it had choreography, which I can't help but enjoy, you know, and just like, I think it's almost like an AI wrote this. Like, this is the best commercial,
right? We
putting
could make.
everyone's heads together, that, you know, it's such a good commercial. It's a movement.
Yeah. I can appreciate
Sorry,
that.
I don't like busting the bubbles, you know,
No, that's not
enjoy
busting
it
bubbles.
anyway, like not
sure.
yours. But like, you know, I don't want to be like, meh, and then it's just meh. But so you enjoyed yourself for no, I'm not saying people enjoyed themselves for no reason. I'm saying it is what it is. Still good choreography. Everyone did an amazing job. It was, like you said, a tall order that they filled pretty well.
Yeah. And I hope you buy more Kens.
Hopefully he's not cheaper now. Like the Barbies are more expensive. Finally. I want to pay more. Oh, the whole world's dumb. I was saying the other day how I was watching on trying to watch on TV a Godzilla TV show. Kurt Russell's in it. That's enough for me. And it's called Monsters. Where are they? So I kind of gave up on it. But then I wanted to see if the world agreed with me that it was so slow and boring. So I start typing in, is Godzilla, and it autofills real. Then I said, is Godzilla the TV show? And it autofills a true story. What is the point?
I know. It's just like, what a uphill fucking climb it is in this. Is Godzilla real? I hope that it came back like 60% say yes. You know, it's just a survey. It's just another survey. 60% also said they would buy a Godzilla toy.
And I'm like, everybody's so stupid. And meanwhile, I'm watching Squid Game, the reality show. I don't know which one's more fake, the original or this bullshit I'm watching.
Is it called calamari? Just because it's like lighter.
So I saw like 9 episodes, and they just had the finale on last night. And
did someone?
I had to watch it.
Die? Yeah.
Yeah. 340 people or so are dead.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, the final 3. I'm curious what happens. So
is the final competition a singing one?
They took it. These idiots take it so fucking seriously. Like they're doing interviews now, and they're like, it really felt like the real thing. It really felt like you were gonna get shot if you didn't win at marbles. That's what it really fucking felt like. And in the original, the final thing is, I still don't know what this game is. The actual game is called Squid Game, and it's some kind of hopscotch bullshit. And they say you can do whatever you want. So they're beating the shit out of each other, trying to get to another square or something. I'm like, well, I don't think you can do that in the reality show. So what are you going to do? They played rock, paper, scissors. And that's how they play rock, paper, scissors. If you win, they have the Squid Game lines on the floor, but it means absolutely nothing. And you play rock, paper, scissors. If you win, you get to take a key out of a pile of like 50 keys, try to open up a safe. If it opens, you win. So they play rock, paper, scissors like 600 times. Obviously, the whole thing's fucking rigged where the key isn't what's working. It's behind the scenes whenever they decide to open the safe.
Right.
You know, like it's the second key. Oh, that didn't work out as dramatically as we thought. No, there's 5 keys left out of 2,000. It worked out for them. Thank God. That would have been tough. And I'm so bad at to me, like even working a key, I have all troubles with all this manual shit. And they'd be like, oh, the key doesn't work. I'm like, it could just be me. Could somebody else try it? I'm not.
Do we have someone with like strong hands?
I'm not good at this shit. Do you turn it twice and then the other way, or I'm pulling on the handle as I'm doing it inch by inch?
That's how I know that you've lived in New York for a long time, because there's no apartment that any of us have ever lived in where the key doesn't have like a trick. They all have tricks. So it's like, it's halfway, you gotta pull in and then you go one way. Right. It's never just as it was intended. Just turn in and turn. Nope, not one.
So in the original, so it was down to this woman, Mai. She's Asian, and the original was Asian, so maybe you want to root for her. This one guy, Phil. I was Team Phil. He seemed like a cool, laid back cat. And
You
then
seem
this
like
guy
a
with
Team Phil guy.
thank you.
Yeah.
And then there was a guy with Sam. He Big Beard. I called him. He was kind of introduced later to the show, so I don't got time for that bullshit. But they have the fancy dinner like they did in the original one. And in the original one, they take steak knives, hide them in their pocket, and then play the Squid Game. So not only is they're beating each other up, they're stabbing each other. So, one of them makes a joke like, let's not take any steak knives with us. And then Big Bear goes, I didn't agree to no stabbing. And I'm like, what? The game's still going on. What? Did they make you say that? Because somebody's going to be able to kick you out for some stupid reason that makes no sense. Why would you say that when you're so close to $4.5 million that you didn't make a deal with to split with anybody, you moron? I'm watching this. This is my entertainment.
Oh, so there was alliances, and that's what you mean? You didn't make a deal with anyone yeah.
I'd make a deal. If one person is getting $4.5 million, I'd make a deal, and I would honor that deal. I'd say,
Wait,
hey.
and what's that number based on, by the way? That's such a random number.
In the movie, like I think each person was worth like $1 million.
Oh, okay, got
That's
it.
why they were willing to do it. So it's like 4.56 billion. Now each person is worth $10,000 real money, so it's 4.5 million, something like this.
Okay,
so
got it.
They use the same numbers.
Speaking of numbers, Broken Alice says Ophira is one of those guests that is always aces billion.
That's true.
A little side note in the middle of Keith's hate for Squid Game, and do you notice that he's on the finale and describing it like I forgot what was in the original. Did you have to watch the original again to remember the knife thing?
Fuck no.
So you remember the knife thing, or do they cut back to it or something?
No, but I remembered.
You just
okay.
I just love how angry you are at the conceit of all of it.
Oh, it's so stupid.
He hates this. He binge watched it.
I hate it. Well, first they put out 5 shows, and then I'm like, okay, I thought I'd quit right away, but then they did some kind of cliffhanger, and I'm like, all right, now I'm in. Now I know these people. And then I thought there was going to be the finale.
Now I know why I hate them. I must continue.
Yes, now I want to see him cry, die. I hope the ink squib blows up on their chest but gets in their eyeballs. I hope it stings a little bit. These pieces of dog shit.
Holy shit.
Everyone's like, you know what? I'm very intuitive. I always see something coming. Then somebody goes, all right, I'm going to kick you out. Did not see that coming.
Every time. What?
My favorite one I'm saying is, you know what? I'm from Kentucky, wherever, but I'm thinking of one guy specifically. I'm from Kentucky, and my voice, they think I'm kind of stupid, and that's going to work in my favor. When is it ever? What game is there where it helps if we think you're stupid, but then you're not stupid? What game has there ever been where that's the secret, that they think I'm a moron, but then what?
Life. Who do you want to only time that works? Life.
Who do you want to
all of life?
Who do you want to play a math test against?
Comedy,
right?
Okay.
I want to play a math test against the stupid person. Gotcha. I'm not stupid. Now I have $1 million.
I mean, isn't that always what we do with like evil politicians? They're like, they're so stupid, but secretly they're geniuses. And then you find out, no, they're not. There's like not a lot of people out there that are evil geniuses. They're dumb. Right. They're just
They're so dumb. And then it's the final 3. So other than that guy saying, I didn't agree to no stabbing and being some wise ass, in general, when somebody would try to do some kind of task, like, push a random button, whatever the fuck, even though the producers control the buttons in the back and, they know who they want to win, obviously. They keep wishing good luck to the other person. Good luck.
Nice.
Well, I'm here for the money. It's very important for me and my family and cancer and etc. Good luck to you, though. Every time they did the key, it came down to the Big Bear lost from some stupid random bullshit.
I like that they do that, though. It's like shows a little tiny bit of, the game, the little bit of the game.
Every time somebody went, the final 2, Phil and Mai, every time one went to turn the key, the other one went, good luck.
You know why? It's a jinx. You're supposed to say break a leg.
Ow! Did anyone say Macbeth? That would have been
Ooh,
old school.
see?
No, they're
Next
idiots.
level.
Yeah, that would be next level. I saw that when they sleep, they take the mics off and they put them back on in the morning. So take the mic off and make a deal with somebody about the money that the producers don't hear.
Yeah,
There's
or
no-
You
get
get
up in the
no
middle of the
money. You
night.
get no money, and by luck or the producers wanting the other person to win, they get $5 million. You were so stupid you couldn't make a deal.
Yeah,
There's nowhere that they're not mic'd.
I'd find a way. I'd leave a note in the shitter or something.
Why do you have to? But wouldn't you want to be mic'd so that people know that this guy owes you if he wins?
Yeah, sure. Do both.
because you could just deny it, right?
Yeah.
Or how about this? Get on the other side of the camera and start working those jobs and get the union fees.
Yeah.
Don't worry about this other random money that you may not be entitled to. Get the
a job.
401ks.
I would have choked out one of the evil red people, wore their outfit, and then start working the controls in the back myself. Find out who's in charge of this whole bullshit.
I would have brought a letter from a lawyer so that when I do make the deal to split the money, they have to sign it. And I would get a notary public so that I could be my own witness because I am that next level. And also, I would make friends.
Wow. I would try to get voted off and killed within the first episode. I'd be like, what? I hate this. How do I get out?
This game is really 7 hours behind the scenes. Goodbye. They're like,
I'm out.
red light, and I just keep running. Try to catch me.
Oh, yeah. And then you stand out that way. And then that's it.
Right.
The guy who kept on running tonight at 8.
I was hoping rock, paper, scissors, like they got to do it like 600 times and their hands are just bloody. Like, ow, 3. Oh. Scissors. Shit. Wow. Ow.
I introduced we play rock paper scissors every so often in this house, and I introduced like all the because I had older brothers that would just try to fuck with you. So I did it to my son. I was like rock paper scissors, and I did one finger. He goes, "What's that?" And I go, "Dynamite," and it like always wins. And he was so mad at me that I introduced a new element that had never been discovered before, and that was gonna I was just like, and I was like, oh, I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole right now.
Yeah, he's right. He's so
yeah,
right.
He's
like,
right.
Oh, dynamite. Okay. Good one, Mom.
Do that. He also, he was like, oh, there was 3 girls lined up. He was like, do you know or whatever the names of these girls in his class? And he said that they asked him to say which one was the smartest.
Oh.
And I was like, what did you do? And he just went, none of you are smart, and ran away.
Okay, better safe than sorry.
And I said, next time, look at them in the face and go, all 3 of you would add up to one smart person. And then I was like, oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. But don't. And he was laughing and laughing. He's like, that's good, Mom. That's a good bird. I was like, no. Don't say that. Don't say that at all.
All right, so here is your Squid Game winner. It ended up being my after all.
Okay, you kind of called it.
And then she goes, well, I was Team Phil, but yeah.
No,
I
not
think
by your team.
Yeah.
I think you called it saying that the first, the original was Asian.
Yeah.
I feel like, what are they going to do?
It'd be weird having a white guy win it when it came down to 2
like
white men and
Asian.
an Asian. Yeah. And then Mai goes, like, gives a speech to us at home, and this is a lesson. Face your fears. What was your fear? Red light, green light? Idiot. And then they show the losers in real life. Like, how are they doing? I guess so we don't feel bad.
I always love that, where it's like, Phil is a restaurateur.
Right.
Yeah.
They all had beautiful houses. They all had wonderful looking families. Everybody seemed fine that they got, except this one person, the woman on the show that said she was in Mensa and only rolls 6 when she rolls a die. And she lost because she rolled a 6 at the wrong time. Never mind, go to a casino and become a billionaire. You'll find some game where you can roll 6s forever. But anyways, they showed her drinking coffee on a bridge. So I don't think her place was adequate to show. But everybody, it turns out they're still alive, folks.
What a great shot. We're going to have you drink coffee on a bridge. Why? Is this like just amping me up to throw myself off? What am I doing here?
What kind of... Yeah, that's a weird image.
Yeah.
Sitting on a bridge.
Brings the coffee to a bridge.
Just to look out and stare like, London or whatever the fuck.
One of these days, I'll finally get the guts.
She goes, I joined the show to die. Turns out they don't
God.
kill you. Yeah. Anyways.
I was hoping to die on film.
And there is going to be a season 2. And you can go to squidgamecasting.com.
Oh my God.
No. You can, Keith. Right. You can go.
I'm good. I'm out. I don't need to know anybody new. I promise. But at the end of the show, they show like people standing on the street and a van pulls up and you get in that van. And I guess that's from the original. But are people going to start just getting in vans now?
Oh no, wait.
Right? Just write Squid
bad.
Game on the side and just stop by random people.
Oh my God. Stop it.
Oh my God. Super stop.
I mean, don't do that.
What the
Just
hell?
keep an eye out for vans is my warning. They never have candy, A. And,
well, never enough.
Right. Never enough. There's never enough. And then, so I'm like, all right, I finished the show. And it goes, now, should I play the Netflix? Should I play the next episode? I go, nah, that you mean the first episode. To really take it in, I should start over. It's the making of Squid Game, and I have to watch this bullshit.
No, again, have to is a strong word.
It is a strong word. It really is. 30 minutes, the making of. But I'm like, okay, let's hear about people suing for hypothermia in this red light, green light, because it wasn't 15 minutes long. It was really 7 hours. Talk about that. Talk about, this. Talk about how when they dropped through the floor, what they did in real life was actually just squat down, and then they had a stunt guy acted like they went through the glass, because that would be dangerous. Whether no matter fake glass, plexi, whatever the fuck, you can't let people be falling in real life.
So did it destroy it and show you that it's all like movie magic?
Nope. They didn't admit any of this bullshit. They didn't admit what was rigged, of course. All they did was be like, the doll was very important. So, we've matched the color to the original doll. And then we had a doll and it spooked people.
Oh, boring.
That's the story of red light, green light. Over here, we got our glass from Glass Central in Pittsburgh. And that really helped us with the glass. Okay. The art department did a great job with the red. And also during the marble sand game, we had the guy from the original show walk through, and he's like, that's pretty good. Next game, I'm like, you motherfuckers, there's so much shit you really could have shown that would be interesting, and you're lying again.
They definitely, that was like some exec made them add that on into the contract. Nobody wanted to do it, and they are phoning that shit in.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you, or just to be clear, are you or are you not going to watch the next season? The reality?
I am not.
What percentage do you think you're not?
We'll be back on that one.
100%.
100%.
First of all, would it be the same games too? Like, who gives a shit again? But no, 100%.
Want to know how you know? Watch it. When does this come out?
Watch it. I don't know yet. Nobody knows.
But these things take like a year. How long do they normally take?
Probably at least a year.
A year. All right. I'll never know.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You might.
I'm not doing it.
Today's poll: will Keith watch whatever the fuck next?
I would just currently like to vote in this poll. Yes. So there you go. That's part half of, I don't know what percentage of.
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
She banged out the math. It's all there.
Like they did this. The cookie, remember, like you gotta etch out a sugar cookie with different shapes, and so they had 4 people representing 4 lines of people. had to go and touch one of the shapes, a circle, a square, a circle, a triangle, a star, and an umbrella. And the umbrella is going to be the hardest one to take out of this sugar cookie. But they all have to decide together on, picking one shape, or they all get kicked out. They went through like 3 of those that nobody picked the umbrella. 4 people at a time had to go home because they're so fucking stupid. So how about in the making of, you talk about how dumb they are? No reference to that. They just said how many times they had to work on a sugar cookie not breaking too easily, but not being blah, blah, blah.
You know what?
I would like it too is if there's like a production assistant that they never show who's like, pick the umbrella. Just like, someone.
Right.
I just pick the umbrella.
Just so you know, when you watch the next season, it's going to start with the tryouts as the first episode.
That's right.
Those are my words for that.
No, I'm going to spend my my time.
Can I bet for real money? Can we bet money on this on today's poll? All right.
Okay, are we betting?
I'll put $1 in.
$20, Chemda, if I see this show?
$20. What, Keith, come on, relax. $1.
She poked extra. I'm saying I want a happy life, and she's like, y'all fucking up. Y'all fucking up.
All right.
Fine. I'm sorry. It could just be the poll, and we could just, give it to the universe.
No.
Anyone buying that universe bit right there?
I got to respect my time. For example, here's something I'm going to do that's fun. Limp Bizkit just announced the 2024 North American tour featuring Corey Feldman. Fuck yeah. I'm
welcome round.
Are they being sponsored by Douche?
Actual Douche.
Summer's Eve.
Summer's Eve.
Oh, him doing his Michael Jackson shit.
Winter's
He keeps
Eve.
banging his head into a microphone. He dances so awkward. Like, I like goofy dancing too, like when you don't give a shit, like Mick Jagger, David Byrne. But man, he makes dancing like you don't give a shit look so hard. There's Corey Feldman.
Oh, it's Corey Feldman.
Why are we watching?
What does Corey Feldman do?
He sings.
What does he sing?
I'm talking about the comeback king. All his songs are Michael Jackson dances he's trying to do. He can't get over that relationship they had.
Hey, he's a performer, man.
I still don't know if Michael Jackson touched him because he keeps saying he's good, but that'd be a shame if he keeps dressing up like him and doing his dances. Oof. But he keeps saying he's gonna out Hollywood of all the pedophiles, but he keeps teasing us,
and not doing it.
He's like, I'm gonna name names, but not yet.
At the end of the Limp Bizkit concert, I'll give one
name at the end of every show. 14 shows.
I'd buy a ticket.
Okay, that's my next question. Are you going? I didn't know I would have to ask Ophira also. What?
Well, we just established I'm going.
Yeah, we're going. It's called the Loserville Tour. Obviously, Limp Bizkit's idea.
Well, at least they got that.
Somebody wrote about Corey Feldman being at a festival some time ago, and the writer wrote, booking Corey Feldman for this show felt a little bit mean-spirited. If you've ever seen a video of Feldman performing live, you'll notice it's completely overdone, pretentious, and just outright bizarre. It felt to me like Riot Fest booked Feldman as a joke for attendees to go watch ironically and laugh at, which felt cruel. And that's what Limp Bizkit's doing too. I mean, I know it sounds silly when I say it, but I think Limp Bizkit's sincerely good. Feldman's fucking goddamn ridiculous. And yes, it is a joke.
Wow, that's mean.
But after watching Feldman
fully made fun of him.
Yeah, but after watching Feldman berate his band just moments into the set, the writer wrote that any sympathy for Feldman went right out the window. Quote, Feldman spent an inordinate amount of time on stage complaining about his ex-wives, which felt like a Hollywood cliche and a tad misogynistic. But yes, Feldman was basically booked as a joke, but by the end of the set, I was more comfortable with laughing at him.
Huh.
Front row tickets. Me and Adam are going, and we're not joking. Yeah.
I mean, that is the Limp Bizkit fan base. That is entertainment for Limp Bizkit fans. And then I was going to say that, and it just occurred to me, Keith, did I just hear you say that you and Adam are going? Did you get your tickets already?
If they're humble about the tickets, we're going to go to the PNC Center. next
Wow,
year.
cool.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Is anyone humble about their tickets?
I know. I don't know. Is it going to be like, no, we can charge $100 because we got Feldman as a joke.
Right.
But 100's not bad.
I'd pay
100 would
100.
be, I
I'd
mean,
pay 100.
without a convenience fee or something, that would be a steal.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know who's like all the artists from that time are at least 100 right now.
Yeah, I don't even think there's a ticket. Is there a ticket for anything that's under 100?
I don't.
I mean,
think
I'm
anymore.
serious. For anything, turns out you can see me for $7, but for anything else,
I don't think. No, it is pretty normal that it's at least 100, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
All
right.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'll sneak in a camera.
All right.
The first ever Keith and the Girl coloring book is now available in our store, keithandthegirl.com/store. Kenda's going to show a couple pages on camera. It is so well done. I could say that because I'm not the one who designed it. It is so fun. The Podhead one of Chemda, if you know what I'm talking about, Wave Punchers, Dad Emails, all this stuff you can color in, and it's very exciting. It's very exciting.
Oh my God!
If you were a past kicks,
awesome.
That it's so cool. So cool. The Great American Novel you can fill in. Who Are, OMAT, Silent Trailers. There's something you can draw and fill in. If you were a past Kickstarter supporter who got the coloring book add-on, look for an email from Chemda via Kickstarter about getting your coloring book sent out. Take a look at the coloring book also now, if you weren't part of it, at keithandthegirl.com/store. While you're there, pick up. Where do I have this? I have this close. Pick up Chemda's Christmas album. Remember this?
Yeah.
Remember this beautiful thing? I'm on it. I mean, they kind of lowered my voice so that boy. But anyway, I'm on one of these songs. That's for sure. I'm on two at least. I'm on two at least. Yeah. So check that out. keithandthegirl.com/store. If you miss us over the break, check out our YouTube channel. Click on the live section. See if you missed anything. And don't forget, there's a shit ton of shows and episodes in our VIP package. You can't be talking to your family all day. That'd get exhausting. Get yourself a VIP membership. Go to keithandthegirl.com/VIP. Use code FREE if you want to try it out. Do not let your family get to you. Have us in your ears this holiday season. keithandthegirl.com/VIP. Tomorrow we're going to be recording Last Week on Keith and the Girl, where we go over all the shows. Was Ophira an asshole behind the scenes? New Diamond Dogs episode. We got to ask questions. Diamond Dogs episode. Craig and Chris will be joining me. We saw the movie Sound of Freedom, so we got to talk about that. Don't worry, we stole it. We stole it. Promise. Tonight, by the way, big Steelers game.
Oh yeah,
very, very scary stuff. Very scary stuff.
Who stole what?
You just stole my brain and it broke.
I refuse to learn this language.
Are they playing the football?
I will just do it till the end of time, and I will purposely be annoyingly stupid about it.
Ophira is, you can check out OphiraEisenberg.com. See what's doing. Download the podcast. You'll like it. Parenting is a joke. And I don't even have kids, and it's so fun to hear your struggle.
Thank you. I've heard a few people say that, and that makes me feel obviously great. Obviously.
It makes me feel free, like I have more free time.
Yeah, right. You're like, oh God.
Right.
I'm listening to this while doing nothing. I don't need to multitask.
Yeah.
No need.
I don't even clean when I'm listening. I put my feet up. I stare at the wall.
How dare you?
Anything else? The audience
half speed.
Right. At half speed. Right. What else should the audience know, Ophira?
Audience should know that I'm doing some touring dates. I'm in New York for most of December, so if you're in New York, great. But I'm going to Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware this weekend.
Lucky Ducks
on Saturday, which I think is a beautiful place. So,
excellent.
You might have some folks there. I bet you do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about Delaware all the time. Yeah, they love it.
Right. The Gap.
Right.
And and then obviously.
Gap. They love it. They fucking love it. Whatever and that is.
Listen to the podcast. Who's coming up on the podcast? Oh, our next guest coming up is Desi Leidick from The Daily Show.
Okay.
And you've had some big folks. Go ahead and name drop.
Oh, we've had Samantha Bee and David Cross and Catherine Reitman that you might know from the series Working Mom. And
Rachel Dratch.
Rachel Bloom.
Hello.
We just had this. She's a data scientist, but she's wildly popular. Dr. Emily Oster, who talks about parenting. It's just all kinds of cool stuff. It's fun talking to people with a point of view that are funny, who actually do data research, because they have, as we say, do you have the data to back that up? Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do.
Now you can all sound pretentious for a reason. You can go, yeah, a scientist told me that on a podcast.
Right.
No one has to know that Ophira told you jokes while it was happening.
And the number one thing she says is that, like, sure, collect data about this and that and what's the best and highest achievement. But you know what kind of data you also need to put into things? Pleasure. Is having a glass of wine like going to, is it really good for your heart? Is it really da-da-da? What about the pleasure factor? That might be the highest bit of data, for
Pleasure
example.
Principle. I hope you called the show Pleasure Principle. Thank you.
Did they say, like, the wine, is it healthy for you? Well, if I didn't drink it, I'd be in jail, and that's less healthy, the food they give you. So maybe a glass on the
Knit me
toilet.
that on
Exactly.
a hat.
The last time I drank a whole bunch of it, I didn't end up in jail. So unhealthy for me. I just love it when we all go heart smart. Like, not really. Not really.
To our health. Chink. You're fantastic. Thanks again for your time.
Oh my
we appreciate
God, it's been too long. Great to see you both.
All right, everybody. Kisses to all the misses. Have a great holiday.
Happy Hanukkah.
Oh, you snuck that in.
Pleasure.
Kendra's going to close up. Stick around for a second. That was very fun.
Sure.
Thank you.
I just want to say this has been so much fun. And we're live on YouTube now, so make sure you're subscribed. And that's it. Thank you, Anna and David and Broken. Thank you, Anna, David, Broken Alice.
I see
Ryan.
Kendra.
I see Bad Beef. I see Mimi Cherry. Thank you all for being a part of this. See you next time. Ophira's the best.